I'm on a journey to get better, and I want to do it with you. And I'm not just focusing on physical health. I'm focusing on everything: emotional wellness, spirituality, finances, relationships, and so much more. Every week, it will be my personal goal to bring us, the world's leading healers, experts, and game changers, to share groundbreaking secrets and tips to getting better in all areas of life. Getting better isn't easy, but it's a whole lot easier when we can do it together. Welcome to Better Together with me, Maria Menounos. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It is. It's Wednesday, March 25th. It's Greek Independence Day. Zito Ilava. Want to say that, of course, for anybody who's listening from Greece. We are here because when you know better, you get better, guys. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Our quote of the day: life is not what happened back there or what might happen up ahead. Life is like the rhythm of the heart. Every breath, every blink of the eye. It is beat by beat, moment by moment. This is all there is. This is all we need. And that's by Andy Pettycombe, who we've had on the show before. And if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and comb through our list of podcasts because he's amazing. He is the founder of Headspace, and we had a great episode with him. And meditation, I think, is more important than ever. Have you been meditating, Stephen?
I actually started meditating
when?
Literally 2 days before this all started going down.
Oh, have you stuck with it?
I have not done it since this all started going down. It's been sun up to sundown. How do we make this better, and how do we keep going forward? But I will try to block out time. Can I meditate while exercising? Does that count?
No, exercise is meditative, which is good. Are you still exercising?
I'm trying to.
Good.
I'm trying to slot in time at the end of the night, but...
Stephen, we've talked about this. Why not 30 minutes before you have to get up to come here?
Because I'm tired, Maria.
Wake your ass up. Get up. You'll be fine.
I'm tired, Maria.
8 hours is more than enough sleep.
I don't... Yeah,
you do.
I could probably do it.
You do.
I could probably do it.
That's the thing.
I just want to make excuses. I don't want to do it.
Well, if you don't want to get better, then don't do it. But no, I think I was thinking about, I don't know why I was thinking about you this morning as I was getting ready. And I'm like, I wonder if he's still working out. And it would be so easy. Just commit 30 minutes. Like I go on the treadmill for 20 minutes and I'm like, okay, I know that's all I can handle right now. And that's all I do.
Well, now we have the elliptical at our house, which is really convenient.
So convenient that you're using it.
Yeah. And well, because here's the thing is I was so comfortable in my diet routine for the first 3 months of this year. And now in quarantine, I don't have access to salads every day. I don't have access to kind of the more healthy options. So it's like, I need to start figuring out working out because before I didn't really need to because I was losing weight and I was healthy and I was fine.
Yeah.
Not that you shouldn't work out if you're dieting, but like, it was easy for me, but now I'm like seeing...
The eating is the worst part.
Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, I have to work out if I'm going to be on this quarantine diet of Hot Pockets and basically everything bad. I'm trying to eat just like hard-boiled eggs a lot to have that be like something filling that's protein.
Be careful. I mean, your cholesterol will go up.
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
Yeah.
So...
As long as I'm staying inside, though, it's healthier than... I mean, eating this is healthier than being outside amongst people right now, so...
Yeah, well, there's a trade-off, right? Like we can't do everything perfect, but we can try. We are going to have an expert come in and teach us how to make healthy meals with like canned goods, the healthiest that they can be.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because I was like, gosh, I have a lot of canned goods right now. We're still getting some fresh produce, and then like heavily washing them with white vinegar. And we have the garden, so that's good, but you know, we're doing the same thing. I had frozen pizza yesterday and
we're trying to make it like spread out. So like Brie made a tuna roll casserole or a tuna casserole. So it's like instead of using the whole can of cream of mushroom soup that we have, we use a little bit with pasta because pasta is just everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone has tons of boxes of pasta. And then you just have a few other things in there and you're good.
Yeah.
And that way it can last for like probably 4 or 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think luckily we live in a country where I don't think the food supply is going to take a huge hit. Knock on wood.
There was an article about a week or two ago about how the food supply can become an issue because if people aren't working, who's going to go pick the fields and who's going to, make things? Who's going to manufacture the frozen goods? I mean, there's so much, but I think we're going to be fine.
I
I'm
think
going to
so
stay
too. I
positive.
think we'll be better.
We're going to be better together. Meanwhile, thank you guys for joining us. We have been going live this last week and a half during this crisis so that we can offer a forum of positivity and bring in all of the experts that I know can help us through this challenging time. If you love the show, please help us by rating, commenting, subscribing. It really makes a big difference and lets people know that we are worthy of their time because there are so many podcasts and so many shows out there now. Also, we do have a Patreon, and Stephen, if you would be so kind as to share.
Patreon.com/Better Together with Maria. I don't know why I went William Shatner there for a second, but yeah, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Better Together with Maria. We're trying to figure out the best way to handle it right now with all of this going on because, you know, we're such a big fans of giving away stuff for free that we're doing like this show so many days a week for free right now. So we want to figure out like maybe we're probably going to film like an after show for you guys to have some exclusive content. But this is the only way that we're going to be able to move forward and start going ad-free for everything. So if you want to support the show, if you want to support us getting through this and support me,
Stephen.
me.
Stop. No, the truth is that, you know, we are going to, I think, take this down and we're going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday live here. And then we'll do a Thursday Patreon show. And then, you know, the goal is that on the Patreon show, we have zero handcuffs because YouTube does have a lot of limitations.
Mm-hmm.
And there are amazing clips and things that I want to be able to share with everybody. So, yeah, I think that's really what we're going to do. So join us at Patreon and in the summary, the link will be in there. So you can just click on that. In the meantime, we have an amazing guest today who's going to help us through another area of this crisis that's important, and that's pregnancy. So I have a lot of friends who are pregnant right now and freaking out. And if they're not freaking out, I freak out for them and have had to like yell at them and be like, do not go into grocery stores. Do not do anything. Stay hidden. And so I decided that as we're in this, you know, pandemic, you know, it's important to have somebody who can be a voice of information and calm and help you through this period if you are pregnant or if someone you love is pregnant. But, you know, we are also going to be entering a time where we're probably going to have a lot of corona babies because of the quarantine. So that's a whole other thing we'll talk about. So without further ado, here is my dear friend, Lori Bregman. Hi, Lori.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Hiding out in my house.
I love it. Tell me what has been going on with your business right now. You know, you're a doula,
Mm-hmm.
and that requires you to be in person with your pregnant patients. And I imagine that that's challenging right now.
Yeah. So about 2 weeks ago, I told all my clients to stay inside. We've been doing virtual sessions, birth prep, birth education. I do pregnancy coaching, but I've been doing this like virtually for 2 years now, with people all over the world. So it's not that different for me. Where it's different is going to the birth. So how I'm working is if people are not sick, I'm going to early labor at their house with a mask on, with gloves, and helping them get as far along as they can in the labor if they're choosing a hospital birth before going to the hospital.
Are they allowing you to go into the hospital too?
No, they're not allowing doulas at the hospital right now.
Wow.
So they can have their partner go if they're not sick. If they have corona, if they're sick at all and test positive, they have to go by themselves, which is horrifying. I actually just signed up for a how to deal with trauma in birth program, because I think we're going to see so many women on the other side of this that are traumatized. You know, when I was born in the late 60s, and my mom wasn't allowed any visitors, was put in a room, put to sleep. It was just, she was they took her away from me and put me in an incubator because I was really small. And there was so much trauma from her, and so much fear going through her body that created all the stress hormones, which affects the baby.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of trauma, birth trauma from this. There's on another note, it is a little bit of the Wild West out there at the hospitals right now, because there's no structures. They're just trying to find new structures. They never had to deal with something like this before. So I do think, it's really I'm trying to get my clients to say day by day, just stay in the present moment, because in a month from now, things could look very different. Structures will be in place. They'll have a handle, not a handle, but they'll have a system in play for this, better.
So virtual sessions sounds great, because you don't necessarily have to be in front of somebody to coach them through what they're going through. But, the delivery day is when I know you shine so much. And I know you go in and you decorate the room and you make it pretty and you make them feel good. And you're able to do things that the doctors and nurses don't have time to do.
Right.
I know it's a luxury for some people, but in the old days, women got together and were doulas for each other, and that's how it really was, right? Will you explain a little bit of that?
Yeah. So back in the day, it was women supporting other women. It was a lot of mothers and aunts and sisters and best friends, and then as time went on, everybody got busy. It was harder to travel to get there. People, sisters had jobs. And so doulas, we've been around for a long time. We're technically like birth servants. So the thing is, what I'm doing, in fact, I was just on the phone with a labor and delivery nurse this morning, because I'm like, I'm been on the phone with doctors and delivery nurses and postpartum nurses and midwives, and I'm trying to get because basically every day this thing changes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like what was yesterday is not today. So I'm still I'm having all my clients get flameless candles, get their favorite aromatherapy, bring their iPad or their computer, make a playlist, download a bunch of hypnotherapy and meditations to do. Also, I'm actually I'm getting them to the hospital, sending them off to the hospital, and then staying up all night on FaceTime with them or Zoom, and literally holding space and if they're scared or freaked out,
You're right there anyway.
I'm right there anyway. I just can't physically touch them.
Yeah. You're not physically giving them ice chips. I know you give them ice chips, right?
Yeah. That's so in the movies. I do give ice chips sometimes, but so I'm still very present. Also, I've never really been just about the birth. It's always been about supporting them through the pregnancy. So it was very timely, but I launched a Mindful Mom to Be virtual group coaching program where it's 40 weeks. So I take these, I just launched my first one, I guess about a month ago. And I have a bunch of women and I give them so much support throughout the pregnancy. And I'm doing another one in June and then a 12-week one. So it's a way for me to work still and really support them through the pregnancy and prepare them for birth and prepare them for postpartum and build a healthy foundation for their pregnancy and their baby to grow from.
What are the doctors saying about pregnancy and the coronavirus?
I mean, it hits everybody different. I mean, definitely pregnant women are high risk. They're trying, they're all scared. Everybody's scared. Everybody's it's really scary. I've been checking in with the doctors and I'm like, how are you doing? Are you okay? Oh my God, it's really scary out there.
The doctors are saying that.
Yeah, it's just scary, and so they're working on doing telemedicine.
Yeah.
More of that kind of thing with their clients.
So that's online medicine. I know that my dad's diabetes doctor, we went in for an appointment, I think it was a week and a half ago or something. And she's like, we're going to do everything from telemedicine after this. Yes.
So they're setting up systems for that. They are, it's all new. It's all new. This is not, this is a practice where doctors see women in person in the office. So it's a whole new system. I think there's all these new structures in place. It's I'm helping all my friends that are doulas set up a virtual, doing what I'm doing, which I've been doing. Like I said, I've been doing it for 2 years. So it's not it's not that new for me,
Mm-hmm.
but for a lot of doulas, it is. So it's like everybody's just, it's forcing us all to set up different systems, even how you're doing your show right now. It's like we have to, think of ways that we can still work with people and be of service,
Mm-hmm.
In a new way.
How are the pregnant moms dealing with social distancing? Like, are they distancing themselves from even their husbands? Are they distancing? Like, how are they dealing with it?
I mean, they're actually fine. I sometimes I feel when you are, at least my clients are, I mean, they're really protecting themselves. So, they're just, I think as a pregnant woman, you kind of tend to go a little bit more in a bubble anyway. You could kind of tend to go more inward. You tend to cocoon a little bit more and protect yourself. So they're doing that. They're doing it with their husband, or their partner. And, everybody seems fine. They're scared, especially my girls that are due in April.
Yeah, I can
I've been dealing with
imagine.
every single day. I opened up all the girls all the women that work with me, and they're doing my private coaching. I've opened up from 12 to 3 every single day where they can, I will sit on the phone with them and coach them and be there for them and just let their feelings be heard,
Mm-hmm.
because it is scary. It's a scary time. It's an unknown time. Births are already like that, but
Yep.
now it's really add another layer to it. And the layer that you can't have your support people that you thought you were going to have. And what does it look like in the hospital? And will the nurse have it? Will the doctor have it? Like,
Yes.
will my doctor be there?
So what do you say to them?
I mean, it's just kind of, I try to keep them in the present moment and let them know that their feelings are valid. And it is a very unknown. And I'm just like, right now, you're healthy, your doctor's healthy, and your partner's healthy. So right now, you guys can go in the room all together. And then I'm still going to be there for you. I'm still going to come to the house, which I usually go to the house and labor with people anyway for about 8 hours before we even go to the hospital.
Yeah.
6
So
to 8 hours.
so here's the thing, like when you're pregnant, you have a lot of visits. Like not all of them can be done by telemedicine. So
Right.
when you have to go in, what are you telling them to calm them down? Because if I was pregnant right now, I would be freaking out that I have to go into doctor's appointments and, anything medical is going to be, potentially virus infected.
Yeah, everybody's concerned. Should I go to my doctor? Some of the doctors like, don't come in. This appointment's not that important. There's offices I know that have like 10 doctors in it, and they see a client every 10 minutes. And
Still.
I'm just like, call ahead, see if this appointment's really necessary. Is this a really necessary appointment? If it's not, I said, you go in with your mask and your gloves and your wipes, and then you come home, take off your clothes, jump in the shower.
Head to toe. You got to wash your hair too.
Head to toe. Head to toe. I haven't had a birth because I took March off. So, and then
Good,
my
you're
dog
ready.
got sick. Yeah, my dog got sick. And then, so I kind of had the month off, and my clients thought I was going to be out of town. So I kind of used that time. So I haven't really seen any of my clients, but I did have a client test positive yesterday.
A pregnant client.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I haven't seen her in, I think it's been over 3 weeks.
And what is she saying?
She's scared. She's had an intention that I was going to be there, that her husband was going to be there, and now she has to go in by herself. They won't allow visitors. They won't allow a partner there. And if you have it, they're separating the babies from the mom.
You're kidding me.
So
you give birth and you can't even hold your baby?
They separate the baby from the mom, and then they try to get the mom healthy. And they try to get the mom, work on getting the mom healthy. And when she's healthy enough, and if the baby's fine, then they're finding the babies have not been it's not crossing the placenta, but they could get it from a nurse who doesn't know that they have it. So it's I'm not going to lie. Like it's scary time to have a baby right now at this moment.
Wow. So, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the fact that, and the mom who just gave birth, who has corona, are they keeping her in the hospital, or are they going to release her and then she has to come back and get her baby when they say it's okay?
I think it depends on the level of the virus. I know I heard of a case where the woman had to be she came in with a pneumonia respirator, separated the babies. They're treating the mom, and then once she's better, they'll send them all home together.
Wow. I would die if I know this is
I know.
probably so like millennial adjacent of me, but I would die if I had to give birth alone. And then I would die if I couldn't hold my baby that I carried for 9 months.
We're going,
How,
it's really, it's back to, like I told you, how when I was born and my mother had me, that's what they used to do. And there's so much birth trauma from that generation. And like, we've come so far. And even the hospital, this is the thing I will tell you, like the hospital does know, they do know the importance of, we've come so far to know like birth psychology and to know how their birth affects you, and
yeah,
affects the mom and stays with you for the rest of your life.
totally.
Um, a lot of my clients are looking into home births or birthing centers. In fact, I was just, before I even just got on this show with you, a client just texted me and she's like, what birthing centers do you like? What midwives do you like? Midwives can only treat you if you're healthy. So if you have, if you have corona, you have to go to the hospital.
So if you had a plan to do a birth at home and you or the midwife gets sick, now you have to change plans on the last minute and go to the hospital. How does that affect everything?
Well, midwives usually have backups. So if they got sick, they'd have a backup. If you're sick, it's just, the reason home births and birthing centers are there's so many positive results from it is because you're taking a healthy woman with no pregnancy, no existing complications or sicknesses. So, a healthy woman, it just looks very different to do a home birth because it's a whole different mindset.
Yeah.
You really have to go get in the trenches. I mean, I love doing home births, but you really have to get in a whole different zone to do that.
Yeah, I saw Ricky Lake's The Business of Being Born. It was so beautiful.
Good.
But I wonder,
I think if anybody
is it more dangerous?
should watch that.
Is it more dangerous right now for you to consider doing a home birth than to go into the hospital? Because if you have an issue, trying to call 911 in these days, I'm sure is going to be a lot more complicated.
Yeah, usually in home births, there's an issue before there's, an issue presents itself usually before there's an issue. On my website, LoriBregman.com, I actually did a Q&A with a midwife that I really like. Her name's Alex. And she answers all the questions that we frequently get, which is like, what happens if I bleed? What happens if my baby's not breathing? Da, 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 da. And she answered them on there. Somebody can go check if they're interesting. And I do think Ricky Lake's documentary, The Business of Being Born, is a great movie if you're thinking about doing a home birth. Mm-hmm. I think you also have to be the right kind of person to do a home birth.
Yeah.
It takes, if you're like, I talked to my friend who's a midwife yesterday, and she said, if you want to do a home birth because you fear the hospital, that's not like a great, it's got to be because I believe in my power to give birth to this baby. I just want to be more naturalistic. It's a different mindset. I know I can do this. It's, it's a whole different way to do things.
Yeah. Wow, you totally just blew my mind. And now I understand in the beginning of the show why you were talking about there were going to be so many trauma babies.
Yeah.
So
trauma moms. I mean, I literally just signed up for this course yesterday because I was like, because I do so much of the coaching. I'm like, I need to like help these women through this because right now I probably have, I think I sat on the phone with 4 or 5 different people yesterday that were calling me hysterical, scared. And they just needed to get it out, and just for me to say, I hear you,
How do you calm them down? How can you give a mom confidence in this moment who's going to be giving birth in the month of April? First of all, I'll tell you from my perspective, I'm not having a baby in April, but in April, I've got to take my mom back to Cedars to get infusions for her brain cancer. And when we were talking about it 2 weeks ago, I was already throwing up in my mouth, thinking about how dangerous it's going to be to enter those facilities and expose my mom to these, things. And I'm scared of that. Now imagine, a pregnancy, you're giving birth, and I'm sure people are concerned about the virus. If you're more susceptible to getting the virus directly after giving birth, and does giving birth lower the immune system? And, there's so many things to worry about.
And there's so much unknown. See, people, we don't know. Like somebody asked me the other day, if you get it, does it come back?
Yeah.
Well, so far, like it's been 4 months since we know about this thing, and then people haven't gotten it back, but we don't know. So we don't know how it affects you, what it does, and so I'm calming people down because my girls are like doing like a month, and I'm like, look, today, this is what's happening. In a month, there'll be systems in play, and this is our intention right now. This is how we're going to do this. And so we have our intention, our plan, and then we have our backups, and then we talk about like, what would that look like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it makes no sense to stress about the unknown right now and be lowering your immune system, worrying about all of this stuff when you don't know where we're going to be in a month. In a month, this could magically disappear. Nobody knows, right? Crazy things happen.
Also, whenever there's a crisis, there's always a mass panic where everybody's in panic mode, and then we start learning how to live with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We start like going, okay, so we're just going to start working online, and we're just going to start, this is going to be kind of staying home more, going to bed, this is going to be kind of like our way of life for now. I think the biggest thing, I just had a conversation with a girlfriend this morning because she's like, you're doing so well. And I'm like, I'm staying so present to what is in the moment. And if I get like, oh my God, what's this going to look like over here?
Yeah.
I'll start to spin.
Yeah.
It's like, what can I do right now, like today, and then just do what I can do with what's right in front of me, and not getting too far over here.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure that's difficult with type A over preparers.
Yeah. And have your backup plans and have these things in place, like, but, try to stay like, what can I do with what's in front of me, what I have?
Yeah. Well, and do you believe that there's a reason that these particular people are going through this at this particular time? Everything happens for a reason. We say that all the time. So maybe there's a reason. Who knows?
Well, I think these little babies, these little souls that are coming in have some work to do. I mean, they're part of a paradigm shift. Don't you think that this is really a major paradigm shift? I know this is a paradigm shift in birth that needed to happen. Sometimes things get shaken up to waken up type of thing.
Yeah. Explain the paradigm shift in pregnancy and birth.
I think women have lost trust in their ability to give birth.
Ooh.
There's so much fear that they forgot that, when it becomes a more naturalistic thing. Even my clients, my thing is right now, people that were like, I want to get an epidural, like, I'm so afraid, like, just tell my doctor. They're like actually taking charge of their body a little bit more and saying, let's labor at home. I'm going to breathe through this stuff. I'm going to get as far along as I can. And then if I want my epidural, I'll go to the hospital, get my epidural, ask my doctor to get me out of there. Like, as soon as possible. And
get me out of there as soon as possible. And what?
And go home.
And have the birth at home?
No, have the birth, get to the hospital.
Oh, got it.
Walk in, have your baby, and then tell your doctor you want to get out there as soon as possible. And I've had clients go home 5 hours after birth, as long as the pediatrician and the doctor sign off. Different hospitals have different policies, different doctors have different policies, but it's a conversation to have with your doctor. And you could totally work virtually with a doula. Like, your doula should be working virtually with you. They can sit up all night long. I'm sitting up all night. My plan is I will go to their house if they're not sick with my mask, get them as far as they can in labor, support them, and then sit up all night long if I have to on Zoom and be their support person for them. Yeah.
What else are people not considering in this moment with pregnancy? Like, are you dietarily, the reason why I thought maybe people were social distancing from even their husbands is because in my case, my husband's the one who's foraging when we need stuff. He has to go out and buy everything. And to me, then he's exposed, right? And so I wonder if I was pregnant, I mean, I would be like 10 feet away from him.
Right. I mean, they're going out with masks and gloves. They're not going out every day. They're limiting it. And they come home, they take off their clothes literally before they walk in the house.
Yep.
They run into the house, jump in the shower, wipe down all the groceries, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
they're
don't think a
doing
lot of
everything.
people are talking about that, like the wiping down of the groceries. So that's something that I implemented in my house as well was if you go out, you got to strip down and get right in the shower and then taking a Lysol wipe to all the groceries that come in so you can eliminate any, virus that's left on anything. Someone sneezed and grabbed a box of cereal and now you grabbed
Yeah,
it.
I know. I didn't even think of that. I heard you talking about that. What were you saying with the vinegar you were doing too?
Oh yeah, even with my produce, like I can't live without salad. I
Yeah.
can't. It's my favorite food in the whole world. I know it sounds crazy, but it's been since I was a little girl.
Yeah,
And
me too.
so Kevin had to go out and forage the other day, and I was making a salad, and I washed it with white vinegar to make sure that it was, sterilized a little bit and cleaned.
That's great. I'm gonna actually tell my people that to start doing that. Like,
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you telling them dietarily right now? Are you letting them
mhm.
eat from restaurants and having food delivered in? Because I won't do that right now.
Most of my clients aren't doing that,
Yeah.
so I'm not even doing that.
Yeah, I'm cooking for
I
myself and my
I'm
family.
cooking. I'm cooking. Like I just made the best bone broth, like the best chicken soup ever. I mean, I wish I could like virtually send it to you right now. But it's so good. Having a lot of them I send them recipes. I sent them like bone broth recipes, mineral broth, like Alyssa Goodman's mineral broth recipe.
Mm-hmm.
I have them on high levels of vitamin D, zinc. I had them on elderberry syrup for the last couple of weeks. It's great. It's not while you have the virus, but like it's good before.
Tell me about the elderberry syrup. Why?
It's an antiviral, anti like cough. It's just a good source of antioxidants.
Mm-hmm.
And it's safe for pregnancy.
Oh, that's good.
Uh-huh. Zinc, I have them on. I have them eating lots of warm foods, broths, soups. I've heard that. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard this, and one of my midwife friends who's a nutritionist said it is that the warmer the food, it kind of pushes the virus down into your stomach, and the acid can get it. So it's like, lots of teas. I have them. Ginger tea is amazing, antiviral. I have them on mint tea. I have them drinking Robolus teas, nettle leaf. I have them just really trying to eat clean, get enough sleep, take magnesium before bed so they sleep really deep.
Ooh,
Hydrate.
magnesium before bed makes you sleep deep?
Yes.
Like a supplement?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah. I love, love, love Mary Ruth's Organics. You should check it out. Her
Okay.
products are incredible. In fact, you know what? I should have her send you some.
Yes,
Um,
please. Now I don't have
yeah.
to write it down.
No, I'll have her send you some.
Okay.
She's an old client of mine. Insane. Like her products are incredible. She has a nighttime mineral that is unbelievable. It's so good.
Okay.
Echinacea, you can take echinacea when you're pregnant. Garlic is incredible. I mean, I've been eating so much garlic and onions
Oh my
because they're
God.
antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, everything.
We made the craziest garlic dip the other day. My dad and I were burning from it.
Oh my God, sounds so good. I
Yeah.
love garlic. And
Yeah.
now we can do it because we're around nobody.
Nobody's around. It doesn't matter. So my garlic dip recipe, it's called skordalia. It's Greek. So we do garlic cloves and the magic bullet thingy, olive oil, equal parts olive oil and red wine vinegar. You can put some bread or potato in there, like cooked potato, if you want to like take it
God.
down. And I do a little salt and pepper, and you grind it up, and you know you can use it like on your crackers or bread or some like pan fried like zucchini strips. It's like insane. I mean, you can put it on anything.
Oh, it sounds so good. I used to get this one from Trader Joe's or Whole Foods that was like just like whipped garlic.
Hmm.
Oh, it's so good. Like
You can also put hummus, like chickpeas in there if you want to take down the potency of it.
yum.
Yeah, make it like a hummus garlic dip. It's so good.
So good. I know. That sounds so good. I want some now.
So all these things you're talking about that you're putting them on sound pretty good for all of us to be doing. Warm things are really healing, and they're the right temperature for our bodies. So the body isn't having to overwork to take a cold drink and make it warm inside. And that's why Ayurveda is so good too. It's not
Mhm.
compromising your immune system to have to work so hard.
Yeah, and I mean, also you can make a big thing of chicken soup. You take a whole chicken, stick some chicken broth and some bone broth, and and just let it cook with some carrots, onion, dill, parsley, and celery, and just let it. Then put in a slow cooker, let it cook, and then throw in some vegetables, and you've got meals for. You can freeze it. You've got meals for a long time.
Yeah, we do the same thing. We freeze our soups and pull them out
Yeah.
when we want them.
So yeah, so I have them doing that. I have them doing a lot of probiotic rich foods, fermented foods, uh,
Sauerkraut, sour.
sauerkraut,
Yeah.
um, kefir. Not a lot of dairy because it creates a lot of mucus. Um, vitamin C, but not too, like 100 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams above what they have in their prenatal. So, and just really like sleeping, and, when they feel stressed, they have access to me to call me and
Yeah.
like, just get it out, talk to me. I'll do some breathing with them sometimes. I'll do a meditation. I'll just, let them know that their feelings are valid and it's scary, and that, I'm going to be right there with you. And I'm going to, I talk to the partners and
Yeah. What are
that,
the partners' roles now? Because obviously they're going to be a lot more important. And how can they help with anxiety for their pregnant partners?
well, it's a known thing that like the partners, the more supportive and loving they are, the more oxytocin you release. So the better the woman feels, the better the baby feels, the better, the better the labor will go, the easier time she'll have. So it's just to be really patient with them because it's scary. Um, and it's just to be there for them. I mean, just be there. I mean, and in birth, because I do the birth prep with the partner, they know what to do. Plus, they have access to me. I mean, I will sit there and be like, go hold her hand, like, put her in the shower right now.
Mm-hmm.
If a doctor's like, hey, you're 1 centimeter, I want to break your water, I'd be like, hey, maybe ask them if you could maybe wait until you're a little further along, so you're not on a time clock. So it's just like little things like that. Like I'll be their advocate and kind of talk and stuff like that.
And if they don't have you, what would you advise pregnant partners to do?
There's a great book called The Birth Partner by Penny Simkin that I have a lot of my clients that are men read. I would definitely do that.
They actually read it?
Yes, because it's bullet pointed.
Oh, I love it.
I'd have them read that. I'd have them watch some birth videos. I really get on like YouTube and start educating themselves, watching some videos, watching The Business of Being Born, or what is it? I think Born in America or something about the hospital births. Really start educating themselves on how they can better support them and understand what happens in the hospital, like, or what happens in birth, and and take a birth class.
Yeah.
I do privates with people. I'm actually gonna like launch a class for it online where it's just for the partners and them. But I do one-on-one. I've coached people, like these couples all over, and they sit on there on Zoom with me, and we do the whole thing. And in the birth, I'm still there. So they're FaceTiming me, and it's as long as they have some kind of education, they should be fine.
Yeah. Stephen, I wonder if anybody in the chat is asking any questions that we should be getting to, and even with Facebook Live too.
Yeah, we have Facebook Live going right now. We have obviously YouTube. We're live on YouTube. One of the questions that we got was basically with pregnancy, a lot of the family want to be involved. So what's the best way to have like grandparents and have extended family see the newborn child in these moments when they can't come into contact with the family? Is it straight up just like no right now?
I would straight up say no. I mean, there's no visitors allowed in the hospital at all. Like Maria, when you take your mom, you might be just dropping her off and somebody might come out to the car and get her and bring her in.
You're kidding me.
No, I mean, it is no. And I would 100% say no, but if you're doing a home birth, midwife, partner, doula, the end. If you have a new baby at home, and I wouldn't have anybody come over.
Wow. What Absolutely a crazy time.
It's crazy.
Someone told me that about the hospitals now, that they're not letting in anybody. And I'm like, I now have to trust that the person who's going to take my mom is going to be able to take care of her properly, that they're going to be clean and sanitary with her. And you know what I mean? And like, think about the people who don't speak English and,
No,
luckily.
they'll come out. They come out to the car. In fact, one of my other pregnant clients went and got tested, and she said it was like this crazy thing that she has to go to this place, and you sit in the car, and then they will call you on your cell phone, and you give them your license plate, and they'll come out and get you and bring you in to get tested to see if you have the virus.
Wow. Why can't they just go to your car and swab you there?
I don't know. They bring you into. There's a whole thing. They bring you into this place.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy. I would, unless your mother has been quarantining with you this whole time,
Yeah,
and
she has. Yeah.
yeah, then maybe, obviously, if she's quarantining, you go to the hospital, have a baby, and you come back, then she's, you know what I mean? You know where she's been.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know clients, trust me, my clientele, like, they have baby nurses that were coming in from New York that can't come now. So there's, it's a lot.
So the rule is if your family was quarantining together before, it's okay. But to me, now you as the mom and the baby have been compromised because you've been out in the hospitals and you're bringing it back. So you don't want to get your elderly parents ill either, because now you might have contracted it in the interim.
There's also something about the first, like the 2 weeks your baby's still transitioning here anyway. I would, if your parents, it's like they don't, if your family, your friends, whatever, wait after they've been quarantined for 2 weeks, and you've been quarantined for 2 weeks with your baby, then maybe come see. But like, I would really, I mean, it's not worth it. You can FaceTime, you can Zoom.
Yeah. So this is a whole side thing. This isn't like a pregnancy thing, Lori, but friend to friend, what I am so confused about is the quarantine situation. The only people in my house that are truly quarantined are my parents and me. I went to the post office to get a package the other day, had gloves on. I wiped the whole thing down. I didn't interact with anybody. I didn't get near anybody, but I still think, that's a little scary. But Kevin, who's out foraging and shopping for us when we need stuff, and he's getting the prescriptions and all of that, he's coming into the house all the time. And I still think that unless you have never left your house, all of you, for 2 weeks, there's no true quarantine. Right. And no one has come in. So that's where it's so tough. I don't think there is like true quarantining because someone in the house has to go out and get supplies.
Right. Well, the person who's going out just has to be as socially responsible as they can be.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why I'm like, Kevin, stay away.
Yeah.
I actually hugged him this morning. I'm like, I need a hug.
Yeah. And you've got your mom, and it's like, she's, people that are immune compromised right now really have to be careful.
Yeah.
It's like, we all have to be careful, but none of us want this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Lori, I can't thank you enough for joining us and sharing all these great tips. I wonder, we always ask, and you've been on the show before, what is one thing you're doing to get better? But, it's more important than ever. Like right now, while we are quarantined and while we are trying to, live life from our computer screens and such, what is one thing that you're doing to get better for yourself?
I mean, I'm still trying to go in my neighborhood, walks outside, and really building more of an online presence as far as my virtual stuff, because even when I moved up to Topanga, it was like just driving. And I want to reach more people. So it's a way for me, it's something that I've wanted to do and I started to do and I've been doing, is just to be able to reach more people and help people in a bigger way than just one-on-one, besides my books and all that stuff. So it's been kind of that. And I think the one thing that's keeping me healthy right now is just like living where I live.
Yeah. Peaceful.
Yeah.
Topanga Canyon, California is the most peaceful place ever.
I know. I can't wait till we can hike again.
I know. Me too. Lori, if people want to get more information on you, tell them where they can find you.
You can go to my website at loribregman.com. or my Instagram at lbreggy, LBREGGY. And yeah.
Everything's there. And we'll put that in the summary as well for you guys if you're listening to this and you happen to be out for a run or something. We'll have that in the summary so you guys can just click on it and find Lori. And if you're pregnant or if somebody you love is pregnant, she can help you through. Lori, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Love you.
Stay safe.
You too.
Healthy. Okay.
Oh man, I did not think about that. Having to give birth alone. When we planned this interview, Stephen, I did not think about that.
It's kind of scary to think about, like, even alone as in like one person in the room is kind of weird, but like alone
Yeah.
as in alone.
I wonder if that's nationwide, because I would be like, can I go to Kansas? Maybe they don't have a lot of cases there and they'll let my mom and dad or like my husband in. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that's how the cases increase in Kansas.
Shit. I would try to do the workaround. I would not be able to give birth without Kevin. Like, I would just not.
I think we could just build him a plastic cellophane bubble.
I mean, I am strong, but yeah, I would have him create an orb and he would be like, sorry, I'm going to live in this orb. I'm going to have I would call Elon Musk. Elon Musk, will you create an orb for Kevin where there's ventilation inside that does not contaminate outside? I would die.
Yeah.
Like, these women are going to be, oh, it's so scary.
You know what, though? They're going to create, like, here's the interesting thing I find about society is in wartime, we create.
Yeah.
And in times of distress, we create. And we develop new technologies to handle this. So, like, this is going to change kind of sanitation rules for pregnancy probably forever. This is going to they're going to develop something that'll let people be in the room for pregnancy. And now, before, because it wasn't everyone's problem, I'm sure there were women who were immunodeficient who couldn't have people in the room before, and they're going to now develop something, I'm sure, to let people in the room, and it's going to help everyone from before that didn't have a solution to that. And also, like, I like seeing this, I don't like seeing this, but let's talk about something feel good for a moment. Like, people, MIT students, all these different people are creating new ways to help the medical industry with this pandemic. People developed a 3D printed valve that turns a scuba diving mask into a ventilator.
I saw that. That was amazing.
In Italy, they have these bubble ventilators that are like really interesting. Like, innovation is really happening around this to try to save as many people as possible.
You need like astronaut gear.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Well, I was thinking, it was funny. I was talking to a friend and she was like, why aren't the nail salons just donating all their masks to people? I was like, oh, that would be kind of interesting, right? Like, there are masks everywhere. And now, of course, everyone's mobilizing and getting them out there. But I think the innovation thing is so smart. And I also think that when you hear that everyone's going to telemedicine, one of the things I've loved about being a Rally Health ambassador is that Rally Health is a digital platform for your health, to navigate your health, take control of your health in the simplest way, which is, online. Because calling up an office is so antiquated now, and waiting on hold and having to schedule things. Like, you can do everything online. And I think what's going to be great is this is going to force antiquated hospitals and doctors' offices to go online and be able to be virtual. We don't need to go to the doctors for every little thing. We could have virtual appointments, and things can be done online and be simpler, faster, and easier. And I think it's going to force that, which is going to be so game-changing.
My biggest worry with the hospitals right now is that I hope that they're not I hope that people are signing waivers so people don't get sue happy after this. Because no, like, it's a real thing though, because like the majority of our medical industry, its prices are raised by the fact that they have to have malpractice insurance on everything, and everyone's but like right now you have people in hallways, you have people in triage care, you have so many things that could potentially go wrong. And I think we as like American people need to understand that and not freak out at every little thing right now. Like, they're doing the best they can, and I think they deserve a little bit of credit for everything they're doing. Like, the nurses and doctors, like, they're really killing it right now.
Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, on a regular day at UCLA, I had to go in with a friend who was having a nervous breakdown. I was in a really bad place, and I would have thought it was a war situation. There were people in the hallways in beds. It was so overwhelming. I can't imagine what it looks like today. I thought about that yesterday. I was like, God, it was really bad. And that was like early February or something. And that was before coronavirus had hit and anything. Actually, no, it was January, early January. And I'm like, this is crazy, like to think of what it could look like now.
I mean, it's also just like the doctors are putting themselves at a major risk.
Totally.
Because when you want to think about hospitals in general, yeah, you have the younger nurses and you have the younger doctors, but most of the surgeons are in their 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
They are the at-risk people. So even if they're not directly working with people with coronavirus, they're still performing surgeries in a hospital surrounded by people like that.
This is why I was violent that they didn't have the protective gear they needed. And I'm still violent that everybody doesn't have the protective gear they need. You know, the delivery workers, the UPS people, and anybody who's coming into contact and has to keep working should have a mask. And if you're a company that's listening and you don't, and you think that there aren't places you can go to bestrong.com. Bethany Frankel has manufacturers and people are ordering masks and getting them. And our donations that are going to go out from what we did earlier this week, I think it was, with Bethany, are going to go out this weekend to UCLA and Cedars. But now it's like she's just a gangster.
Well, I love history, Maria, so I don't actually need masks. You know why? Because I take the World War I approach, where when gas was coming into those trenches, you take out a rag and piss on it, and you can hold that on your face, and it works the same way.
And I'm going to end the show now. And it's not like he can just say, you know, what's actually interesting is in World War I, they used to urinate on a rag and that was their mask. He's like, no, I had to take a piss in it. Like, you got to just be so crass.
I have to be crass because it gets a laugh out of you. Yeah. I want to make us a little cheery at the end.
Yeah, okay.
And Jeff Graham, one of our fans of the show, he messaged me, he said, hey, if you guys want to feel good about something too, even though there's no perfect quarantine yet, the rate of infection in New York is going down by 50% this week.
What?
The cases used to double every 2 days, and now they're doubling every 4 days.
Wow.
So, I mean, they're still doubling, so it's bad, but at least it's like a timeline shift.
Wow, that's amazing to hear.
The whole part of flattening the curve is not about preventing everyone from getting this. It's only about preventing everyone from getting it at the same time. It's an inevitability that a lot of people are going to get this. The issue is not whether or not they will get it. It's whether or not there is a hospital bed and ventilator for them when they inevitably get it.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. That's great to hear. Okay, well, we're going to end on that note. Thank you guys for joining us. I hope this information was helpful for you. If you have a friend who is pregnant or a friend of a friend, please share this, and we'll be back with you tomorrow. I think tomorrow we have Mr. Harley Pasternak on, who's going to teach us about some fitness at home tips and some cooking at home tips. Next week, we've got Tony Robbins on board, AJ Gupta, and so many others. We're really excited to have them on. So yeah, we're going to keep plugging along here.
I do have an iTunes review I'd like to shout out real quick.
Okay, let's do it.
Here we go. Genuine, informative, and entertaining. 5 stars by MetaV. Loving this daily ritual I started during the coronavirus pandemic.
Aww.
I find it calming to have somewhere to go where I can hear Maria speak openly about her fears. She and her team provide a wide range of information and solutions to everyday questions and fears. She comes across so genuine, making it apparent that she loves doing this podcast and personally is fulfilled by sharing knowledge and getting better together.
I am personally fulfilled being here with you guys every day. Thank you. That really is, that's an even nicer way to end. So thank you guys so much. You can follow us at Maria Menounos, at El Breggy, at Stephen Lemieux Photo. And remember, be nice people, make good choices, and be present.